morning, everybody. Welcome to the Medicare Cafe pre-chat. My name is Olivia Richardson. If you are watching the recorded version of this and you hate the chaos that we start the cafe with, you just want to get to the good stuff, go ahead and fast forward just like the next couple minutes. If you were watching live, then buckle up. We're going to have probably like one of my favorite shows ever, something that's been in the making now for what, years? We've been talking about getting on the cafe.
Years.
Literally years, and it's the best thing ever. And we're doing it on October 1st, and it's just falling on a Tuesday, and everything is chaos. I'm so excited. So today, with me, I have Ms. Rachael Hurtado, who is the Vice President of the National External Broker. Like, anybody who is not a captive agent with UHC runs through you, right?
Yes.
That's wild, working with all of the FMOs on the national level. Again, Rachel's kind of, the biggest deal that I know in the industry. And I'm not just saying that. You're kind of the most...
Because I'm sitting here.
No, it's kind of one of the most important people that I know in this industry. So it is a huge privilege and a huge honor to have her on the cafe. So before we get into today's topic, which is going to be talking about what United Healthcare is doing, especially in the chronic special needs arena going into this AEP, which is not new, but I'm hearing a lot more.
Growing.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot more talk about it than I ever have. And this is my 12th AEP. But before we do that, I just kind of get a little, get to know you.
Okay. Because
here's the thing. Not only are you wildly knowledgeable, wildly known in this industry, and, so respected, but you're also one of the coolest people I've ever met. You're, we just were talking about your daughter is a role model of mine. I want to be her when she grows up. She's so cool. So just a little get to know you segment. So just asking some really fun, quickie questions. If you're just like, Olivia, that's too personal, you can tell me. We don't have to discuss everything. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
What
always.
kind of coffee?
All kinds. Depending on my taste change with the season. So I can do pumpkin spice. I can do espressos. I can do lattes. I can do iced. I do cold. I do protein coffee. It doesn't matter.
Coffee?
Protein coffee.
Oh my God, I've never heard. It's no.
Breakfast and coffee.
Breakfast and coffee. Honestly, that's a really good idea. Yeah. Okay. Dogs versus cats.
Dogs.
Dogs. Okay. Do you have any dogs?
I do. I have 2 dogs.
I was going to say, I thought you did, but I didn't know. And they're just kind of they're squirrely and wild, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I have a pit bull. She is 14. So white-faced, but still a ton of energy. And then I have another rescue who is a miniature pinscher.
Didn't a min pin escape one time you were I think in your new place, and your min pin escaped and you're chasing this dog around?
They're both runners.
They're both runners.
Although the pity now, she's so old, she has arthritis and she has a hard time walking. And so she got out the other day. We were coming home from running errands and she got out of the car and she acts like she's running away and she's very proud of herself. So she's looking back at me and she's smiling Mama, I'm running away. And I'm just walking behind her you better stop.
No, calm down. Like you do the toddler, except toddlers. Let me tell you, I think when he was 2, I now have a 4-year-old. Yeah. When he was 2, he was quicker than he is at 4. He was just more chaotic energy and I couldn't keep up with him. Now he's a little more calculated. Last question I have for you. It's October 15th. Mm-hmm. It's been a long day of AEP. Your phone was ringing off the hook. Everything I know went right because it's United Healthcare and it's going to go right. But it's still a long day of production, a long day of answering questions. Yeah. What are you eating that night? What is I'm home. It's at a reasonable hour somehow. What is your meal the night of the 15th?
Wine.
Obviously.
And pizza.
Oh, okay. What pizza toppings? What are we going with pizza?
Veggies.
Veggie, yeah, because you're a vegetarian. Yeah. My favorite story. So Clint Geyer, who is the Vice President of Senior Benefit Services, our sister company, we tell the story every time we take a rep out to dinner. We go, and Clint he's a foodie, and there's a ton in Columbia, Missouri. We're not a huge city or town, but we have a lot of really great local foods. Yep. He took you guys down, I think it was you and a couple other people, took you guys down to this Wine Street cellar, got all the appetizers. It's a butchery place. A butcher? I don't know. It's they serve animals and that's about it. Yeah. And they're ordering bone marrow and they're ordering all these crazy hors d'oeuvres and you're just no, I'm okay. I'm good. And he goes,
I'll have my wine.
I'll just have my wine. If there's pizza, that'd be fine too. He goes, you're a vegetarian, aren't you? You're yeah, I am. We tell everybody that story.
I don't ever tell anybody.
Well, you're a better person than I am.
I mean, in general, when we go out to eat, it feels like in this business, I feel like we're always at steak places. And so I don't want people to alter. There's wine and salad, and I'm a happy girl, too.
Tell me what more I need in life than wine and salad. Right. Honestly, salad tastes better with a glass of Merlot.
100%. Everything's better with wine.
Well, thank you again. Thank you for playing along. But it is just a little bit past 10 o'clock. So excited today. Again, this is the first Medicare Cafe of 2025 AEP. I know today just starts the marketing. We aren't actually able to accept applications today, but I think this AEP, the first 2 weeks, is more important than it's been any other AEP.
For sure.
And it's just because people are needing to make as much of an opportunity as they can. Like, we just don't have time this year.
Right.
So,
all changes.
So tell me a little bit about this. I know I kind of gave you an idea of what questions I had. And in my true fashion, I tell you what I'm going to ask, and then I do the exact opposite. So
none of those questions you're going to ask me. None of those questions.
On your toes. I keep you on your toes. I do want to ask, though, we are going to get into chronic special needs plans. We are going to get into, why is it that everybody's talking about them and investing into them this year. But before we do, since we're talking about AEP, and it is October 1st, you were in the room. You were one of the first people, the first organizations to come up and saying, guys, this is a big deal. Like, this is like what we're going to see in 2025 is changing, and things are a big deal. There's a lot of unknowns, and you guys were always loud and have always been amazing partners with us to help strategize with that. How are you feeling, say, back in May when we first started talking about that versus October 1st about what 2025 is looking like?
So we start talking about 2025 in 2024, but really after the first quarter of this year is when we started to see and hear all the noise. Medicarians was the first industry conference we went to, in March, late in March. And we started talking about all the proposed regulations, but also all of the impacts to product and things that were going to happen this year. So I think one of the most powerful tools we have is education still in this business. One of the things that I respect and love so much about the agents in this business is the time that they take to educate members on their options and their opportunity, really ongoing every year. But a lot of times when people are turning 65, it's the first time they've shopped for insurance on their own. So there's a lot of education. So with all the changes, the Part D changes, the changes to DSNP regulations, expansion into CSNP, all of those things happening, in addition to funding cuts, which everybody has seen already in the sneak peek of benefits, right? Education on why everything's happening. So March started to make me nervous. I've been doing this a long time. I've been in the insurance business for, this will be my 30th year in 2025. 10 years at United, but this year is going to be the most change, I think, with the most disruption across. And normally we go into APs and you see a disruption, one carrier or another carrier.
Or an area.
But this is the entire country. And, that are going to see changes in their ANOX and their benefits this year. So it's going to force the majority of people to shop. To where we are now, I feel really confident about where we are. I think I'm really proud to be at United. I'm proud of the work that our teams have put in to be prepared. We launched that educational series in late May to start educating, to make sure agents are prepared to have those conversations on not just this is what happened to your benefits this year, but why this happened, right? And 25 isn't an isolated year. I mean, we have a couple tough years ahead of us in the business, and making sure that they're prepared to answer the questions that members are going to ask. So I feel like we're in a good place. I think as an industry, we've done some good things, and it's going to be a busy AEP, but we're looking forward to it.
Well, it's not new. It's the way that you all and United Healthcare as a whole is reacting, and the way that we're trying to help agents navigate this isn't something new. It's not like you guys, I've seen a lot of carriers out there that are turning on their heads, and they look completely different, both on how they service, what their clients are doing, the benefits themselves. UHC has always been at the front of helping agents get resources through your guys' toolkits, always giving compliant marketing pieces. The Medicare Made Clear that you guys always did, the UHC brand and Medicare 101. So it's not anything different. You guys already had the groundwork. It's just kind of finessing it to being like, hey, what are they needing from us? What's going to help the agent navigate this? And so, again, kudos. It's always great to have UHC as a partner because you guys are always, it's always great to be friends with the giant in the room. But when the giant actually cares about, wanting to make sure that everybody has the tools and resources, that can make or break an AEP.
Well, with the changes requires a lot of investment in the tools, right? And the resources both. Right. So this entire year, we've prepared just like everybody for today, right? For 10-1, right? So making sure that the tools were updated with the new plan offerings to make sure we had new marketing materials to focus on DSNP and fully integrated DSNPs and CSNP plan options, but also, again, educational. We launched those educational videos for DSNP, educational for Part D because of the changes. And again, all tools and resources to help the agents be successful this AEP.
So let's talk about that, the tools and resources and what we're getting into. Yeah. So back in, Lucy, thank you, Lucy. Back in the day, whenever we were kind of looking at, and carriers were really looking to diversify and figure out, Medicare Advantage plans, they're really starting to level out. People, it's kind of looking like all Medicare Advantage plans, everybody has their niche, but we got to a point where we're all really, really competitive. Yeah. UHC said, we're going to go in the DSNP and we're going to aggressively, one of the first and one of the most aggressive companies to go into the DSNP. And that would have been, several 10 years ago, several years ago. I'm feeling, and tell me if I'm wrong here, that I'm feeling that same level of commitment motion over into a space where you guys have always been in, always had great plans in, but didn't really have the same level of commitment to. And I would say that's the chronic special needs plans. Is that kind of fair to say?
Yeah, I think the rules are changing for DSNP, right? So this is kind of the first step in between 2025 and 2030 where DSNPs have to be integrated. So you saw two things happen this year in the product portfolio. One is you saw an expansion of the fully integrated dual plans and just getting ahead of that 2025. So we launched 50 new plans across the state that were geared to full dual eligibles, right? It also is going to turn, because of the election period, because of the alignments, it's going to turn, you're going to see more DSNP business being done during AEP than we have historically, and you will see less DSNP during SEP. And so SEP, because we've always been so dominant in DSNP, about 60% of our business during SEP had been DSNP business. So as you think about how you're going to meet consumers and what plans are going to work for them, in the same time you're looking at the funding pressures and the landscape of the industry, CSNP has been something we have played in historically, but definitely looked at expansion. So we expanded the CSNP footprint this year to 70% of the national eligibles have an opportunity to have a CSNP plan. And when doing the research, we determined that 50% of our population qualifies for a CSNP plan.
That's insane.
Right. So if you think about year-round selling, qualifying for a CSNP plan now is an SEP. So I think 1, with the expansion of footprint, 2, with the expansion of the portfolio, and then 3, as you've seen diversification in the product, with the cuts in funding, carriers are having to make decisions which benefits are members using, which benefits are members looking for, and how do we meet that population. So you've seen plans where, they've been strong in core or strong in ancillary, and for a while it's been everybody gets everything on all the plans. Now you're seeing, plans that are designed for strong core benefits. You've seen some that are strong ancillary. On that chronic plan, you want to make sure that members are getting the care that they need. And so you will see those plans kind of stacked with the appropriate ancillary benefits to support those chronic conditions.
I love that. That's just the coolest. And I get Brad Herman over in the Kansas City area. He says, yes, UHC SNP now is about time. And again, just showing that investment, because we know we've worked with a lot of agents who kind of stepped up and said, this DSNP that you guys have been talking about for years, I love it. I'm writing it all year long. It's great. What am I going to do in 2025? That is no longer an election like that.
Well, you can still do DSNP, right? So it's not going away. It's still there, but it's kind of, we're just again, thinking about the population. And so you'll have some people that are in the that have a chronic condition that are in the non-SNP plan.
Yeah.
You'll see some of those people move.
Yeah.
You've got some people that have chronic conditions that are still sitting in D-SNP too.
Right.
So you can also see some movement to there, but it's an opportunity to reach a whole new population also.
And that's what's so great about when you're working with a carrier the size and the capacity and the resources of UHC is that it doesn't mean like you stop investing in D-SNP so that you start investing in the chronic area. You can literally, you have the resources to where you continue to do this, you continue to take care of that population, but let's look at some other opportunities that are out there. And that's fantastic. And again, reminder with United Healthcare, please make sure as an agent that you are what we call portfolio certified so that it doesn't matter. You never have to say no to an opportunity. There are additional certifications for the special needs plans, both chronic and dual. So make sure that you do complete those and the training that's provided by that because it is different. And the number one reason why I think an agent wouldn't write it isn't because a client says no, it's because an agent doesn't offer it and is scared to because they don't understand it.
Right. So there's new trainings that are out there. The local markets do trainings too, so check with your local markets.
Yes.
There's national trainings that are happening for chronic. There's also new tools and marketing pieces that are in the toolkit for this AEP.
That's amazing. Yeah. And again, we talk about like what happened this AEP. This AEP wasn't like, to your point, wasn't one big thing. It was, we didn't know what the final ruling was going to do. We didn't know what was going to happen there. The Inflation Reduction Act, that whole thing, all that cut in funding, that whole thing was, again, all that. And so it's literally every single aspect of our careers going into AEP was affected. So it's nice, again, just kind of repeating myself saying that this is a year of shakeup. This is a year of education, making sure that you're partnering with people who can facilitate, can handle, and are here for the long run, investing in these markets. So tell me a little bit more, again, looking at the chronic plans, why is it, because in the past it was kind of like, the chronic special needs plans, they were there were options. Obviously, you had to have either chronic heart failure or diabetes, either type 1 or type 2, and that's still the case, right?
Yep.
There's one or the other. And they were there for an option. The way they were kind of used now is, hey, we need to get this person on a plan. Here's an SEP. Let's at least get them into that. Get them something.
Right.
The investment is different this year. There are people who are on a non-special needs plans that may want to take another look at chronic. That might be a better option for them. Tell me a little bit about that. What were those investments that now make that a actual better option for somebody suffering from one of those conditions?
Right. So there's a couple things that go into it. One is I just touched on, the funding, which allowed us to invest in ancillary benefits on C-SNP on things you may not see on the non-SNP plans, right? Or they may be different than the D-SNP plans. So to look at the ancillary benefits. The other piece to that is the care management, right?
Yes.
So making sure that members are getting the care that they need. When we have them put in a chronic plan, we immediately get them connected, right? So nice. To make sure that they're getting their meds filled, that they're seeing their primary care, if they have a specialist, that they're seeing the specialist. And it's about making the experience the best we can for the member. And so that's why it's important to make them in the right plan.
And that's not new.
And it's not new, but the expansion made it a more viable option for a larger percentage of the population. Again, 70% of the population now lives in a chronic footprint. And like I said, 50% of, when we look at our data, 50% of our Medicare eligibles that we have in our book qualify for a chronic plan. So
that's amazing.
Right.
So what can agents be doing? And I have the answer in my head because I've been at the rollouts where they show the videos of people who talk about the customer service that those people on those chronic condition plans they get like an assigned person that becomes like a friend to them and like knows their life in and out,
Right.
So tell me a little bit, like, what can an agent be doing to help a client truly understand, like, hey, this isn't just like a feature that you can have. This is something that like you're entitled to. It's helping you manage your health care. What can an agent do to help promote that story?
I think the most important thing is why everybody does their certifications, right? To make sure you're explaining the plan correctly to the beneficiaries, right? We do outreach to them, but letting them know, right? We have, member journeys and talk about the communication points and stuff to make sure that they know that we're going to reach out to them, right? To make sure that they're getting their meds filled, that they're seeing their specialists, that they're All of those things are things that we're going to watch. And I think setting the right expectation at the time of enrollment is really important for agents. It's the most important thing they can do, right?
Sure.
Take your time, explain the benefit, check the drugs, check the docs, make sure all the people that they're tied to are in those plans.
Yeah. Well, and it's the stickiness of a client, right? If a client has a plan, even if the plan's doing everything right, even if they've paid every claim, never had a mistake, never had an issue, if it's just doing all that in the background, then come AEP, then something new and shiny, they might hear something on a commercial. They're like, that sounds great. I'd love to do that. Right. If they're actively using their plans and they're actively seeing the benefits and it's not a background thing, then that's less work for the agent. Right. That's less movement that client's going to be so much more loyal to that plan and loyal to the agent for teaching them how to use the plan. Correct. So huge.
And field agents do that really well. I mean, if we look nationally across the field, this year, the field's 87% retention. We've had it as high as 90 or 91% retention. That's important to us. Yes. Agents are an important resource for the members. You're great partners for us. It's all about collaboration, again, taking care of our members and making sure they're living their best lives.
Absolutely. It's always, I don't think this has been United Healthcare's saying for a few years now, but strength, stability, hassle-free, right? Yeah. That hasn't been your guys' logo just because of marketing and things like that. But I mean, that was, I think everybody, especially in the integrity
I think agents, we used it as, we have a theme every year, right? That we do for our sales meetings. We do it for our internal and national sales meetings. And then typically with our external partner rollout that we do the same thing, right? And so it was, a year of a lot of disruption, maybe not again to this magnitude, but there was pullback and benefits. And it's really, we've always been in this business for the long game. Yes. So, we try to be consistent in the investment, in the plans, benefits, to make sure that agents and members know we're long haul and we're stable, right? This year, we've got changes too, right? Not the same stability everybody's used to, which is what's creating the noise, but making sure, again, we're still looking at this product portfolio for the long haul, for the stability. And so that's where that came from. And that's one of those things. That's what we
still say. Yeah. When we tell agents strength, stability, hassle-free, because that's been proven to be the same. Even in the disruption, you guys have, again, continued to invest where a lot of other carriers are having to completely downsize. UHC as being a clear hero in a lot of our markets.
And this year, I'm sure a lot of you guys saw, the agents saw it at the local market rollout and our national rollout. We kind of talked about the way forward. And kind of the same meaning is that, we're here to partner with the agents as we move forward through this, challenging AEP. Again, we're committed to the population. We're committed to the agents and we're here for the long haul.
I love it. Just the best. Again, with having a partner like United Healthcare, who, again, you guys have talked about this for years now, but the field distribution growing to where the field distribution's outwriting any other distribution that you guys are offering, and the investment that you guys have made in the field and in the agents. And so trying to do what's best for our agents as well as doing what's best for the client. Again, to do that at the size that you guys are and to be that strength, stability, hassle-free, it's not an easy task, and it doesn't get done overnight. It's something that you guys have been building for a ton of years, and we're really excited to, again, be a partner with you guys and have you guys on this journey. We always try to raise the UHC's flag as high as we can.
You guys always do a good job.
Well, thank you. So again, I know this is AEP. We do our best, Taylor, I love you. We do our best to try to keep these shorter and sweeter because we want to do updates and just give you guys to what you need to know going into this year, going into the AEP. We will continue to do that. This year we have a lot of really cool things planned for Medicare Cafe as far as engagement, giving you guys updates, letting you guys know what you need to know to do your job. But again, I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to this Medicare Cafe. I think we actually planned this, put this on the books now for a couple months. Yeah, we did. Literally, we've been counting down cafes to get Rachael on here. So I appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
Especially October 1st. I know how valuable your time is, and the fact that you're giving it to us, I cannot thank you enough.
It's my pleasure.
It's a huge honor. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you guys do have any more questions, please, again, this is my number. Even if you're watching the recorded version, you can text me at any time. I always try to respond at least within 24 hours, especially during AEP, or you can call our office at 1-800-689-2800. Good luck this AEP. We are here. We are supporting you. And thank you, agents, for doing what's best for our beneficiaries out there and helping those in most need get the health care that they need. So thank you again, Rachel. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
So here's how we end this, okay? So it's a whole thing. I make my guests do it. It's kind of easy.
It's a surprise.
I mess it up more than the guests do, I'm going to be honest. So what we do is I say, until next time, have fun. You say, make money. And we both say, and give impeccable service. So have fun, make money, give impeccable service. You ready?
Yep.
All right. So until next time, guys, have fun.
Make money.
And give impeccable service. Thanks, guys.